Guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at one of my homemade CNC machines, and I made this about 15 years ago. This is the Mark 6. It runs off of CNC Linux. There's another one right there behind him. I've made two of these Mark 6s so far. And right here under this pile of junk is the Mark 5, and Mark 4, Mark 3, Mark 2, and Mark 1 are all they're all gone. So Mark 4 and 3 were melted down. Mark 1 was melted down. Oh, and Mark 2, I sold at a garage sale to some guy from Mexico, because I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, you know. And so the Mexicans, the people from Mexico, you know, not to sound like racist or xenophobic or anything, they're from Mexico. So they come up into the United States on visas or whatever to visit family and stuff and go garage sailing. They get day visas or, you know, stuff like that. There's people that have passports and day visas and work visas and stuff like that. And so they bought one of them. They bought Mark II or Mark III, one of them. Actually, I melted down first two. Mark 1 and 2 got melted down. And then Mark III, I decided I was never going to melt down another one again. And, you know, my story's all over the place. It's been a long time since I made these, though. And they are all metal, of course. And you can see right here. And they keep getting nicer and nicer. This one here is even nicer than this guy. And this guy was pretty awesome. I have not got to play with these things in 7 years. I've been just, because we're a military family, so I've just been lugging them around, seriously. Sometimes, you know, when you're in a military family, you just do a lot of moving and you don't get time to do the things that you would really like to do because you're busy learning the new place and moving and, you know, getting oriented and just living your life. And then we redid a house. We're redoing another house, not as intensely though. So it just takes a lot of your time. And the biggest thing was I didn't have like a real place that I could work on these and make these. So I made these with, I melted aluminum, and they're made out of metal, of course. And that was my first crucible. So one crucible can make the largest part. Now next to it, what I have here is my new crucible. This is a 2 cubic foot crucible, and I will be able to just make them all day long. I'll be able to just pump them out, machine after machine after machine. And what I'm hoping to do is, you guys have seen like the guy that USA or whatever those 3D printers are, where he just has them stacked up. That's my intent with these guys, is I plan to just have walls of these, making tools and parts and stuff like that, just all day long, with serviced by like an industrial arm. I've got these industrial arms here. I've got a few of them. This guy, and then I got another one over here by the Maki. This one is named after my brother-in-law. He passed away. He was a welder. This was a welder. So he's gonna be a really great machine. And his name's Brian. And then this, the big yellow one, I named him after my father-in-law, because my father-in-law wanted me. I love naming stuff after things. I love naming things. And so this one's named after my father-in-law, Bill. And he came out of a Ford factory. And so these industrial machines are going to service my forges, and they're also going to be servicing the parts machining steps. So that's what I'm going to be working on here coming up in the next 2 years. I'm still about 12 months out on the forge. So the forge is going to be, we're going to be using these guys also to service the forge. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be forging tools, hand tools. And the reason why is because I have a sneaky suspicion we're going to be going to war with China, and we're going to get cut off from Southeast Asia and all their tools and everything. So it's going to be hard because we're going to have to start making steel, and we're going to have to get it in from Brazil and stuff like that. It's going to change the dynamic a little bit. We're Americans though, we'll make it work. And so that's what we're doing with these. I love tangents, so that was my tangent. This guy is, I don't have any patents on this, so if you guys want to copy it or whatever, there's probably way better designs out there to copy. I don't know what would be patented on this. There's nothing about it that's incredibly unique from what I can tell. One thing that actually is unique is its strength to weight ratio. So you're not going to find like a plastic tool to do the kind of work that this thing can do. This can do actual CNC machining. This can do knee mill type of machining in a very small package. So I would like to see one go to like a space station, or have one go up on a SpaceX rocket. They're not composite, they're aluminum. That's still pretty lightweight. One of these machines weighs as much as without the steel on it, weighs as much as a heavy car wheel. So it takes about a car wheel to make one of these. So that's that. And like I said, it uses CNC Linux. You can tell here, I was using a plasma torch on it. There was a plasma torch in this thing, and it was cutting out weird stuff, just cutting out shapes, and it started the table on fire. Of course, I had ceramic under it. The ceramic just exploded from the heat though. After it started about halfway through the cycle, the ceramic got thermal shock and just exploded in there. So that was the next step, was to make these guys plasma, a plasma attachment, because the idea is this head is changeable. So we can put one of these rotary tools on it, or a plasma head. One of the movers stole my plasma cutter. So it happens. What I found out is when you're in a military family, the movers steal basically tons of stuff from you. It's not that it gets lost, it's that they outright steal it from you. And that's just part of life too. So no big deal about that. So that's what I'm working on. I just wanted to share it with you. Leave your questions and comments down below.